Hello, Mary Meet. So I haven't made videos for a couple of weeks, been visiting my mother, but now I'm back and I want to review a book. The book I want to review is The Practical Witch's Spellbook for Love, Happiness and Success by Cerridwen Greenleaf. And I guess the main thing I have about this book is basically I'm wondering who it's really made for. Because it says it's a beginner's book. The problem with that is that there's a lot of places where you don't have all the information. Where basically she gives a spell, for example, and there's basic elements of that spell missing. So if you are not fairly used to practicing witchcraft, you wouldn't know what to do. If you are used to it, you can easily fill it in. And I know that, for example, old Renaissance grimoires and such very often included this element that you had to fill things in for yourself. Because it already assumed that the practitioner knew the basics. But as this is basically presented as a beginner's book, that seems a little bit odd. I'm thinking, okay, perhaps it's not a beginner's book then. The only problem is most of the information is so basic that it wouldn't be of any use to somebody who isn't a beginner. So that, I guess, is my main complaint with the book. It's who is this for? So yeah, let's have a look at what it contains, shall we? We can have an introduction, which is the art of practical witchcraft. Then you have chapter 1, essential tools for making magic. Chapter 2, setting up your altar. Chapter 3, good spells for healing. Chapter 4, rituals for romance and love. Chapter 5, money magic and lucky charms. Chapter 6, house magic for a happy home. Chapter 7, conjuring with candles. Chapter 8, moon spells and celestial magic. Chapter 9, pagan parties and sacred Sabbaths. Chapter 10, spells for every day. Then you have a conclusion and an appendix, and acknowledgements and an index. So, okay. Let me make an example. You have spells that are so extremely basic, it can be difficult to even work them because a lot of the mystery play, if you want, that makes ritual magic effective is just missing. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of very, very, very simple spells that can be very effective. I have a tendency to do magic just by lighting a candle. Sometimes I don't even bother too much with color correspondence. I just light a white candle and say a prayer over it. Done. So it can be very, very simple, but it sort of lacks. Some of the things she makes is so simplistic, it lacks internal coherency. But at the same time, she has whole sections on magical timing and a simplified version of planetary hours, which again gets far more advanced, and while very, very useful, isn't something I would necessarily recommend a beginner to work with unless they are going into Renaissance grimoire magic or some forms of ceremonial magic where planetary hours becomes extremely important. If you're going to do that, you might as well learn the proper system for doing it instead of using the simplified version. So again, we have a little bit of a who is this for? If this book were a movie, it would be Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, where you have political plots and discussions of trade agreements that go way over the head of the kiddies, and a lot of stupid slapstick humor that you have outgrown by the time you are 7. And so it's, okay, who was this movie intended for, really? And I get the same feeling with this book. So is it a good book? No, it isn't. It isn't definitely not a good book. It has good sections. There are some really nice spells in here. And some of them I am tempted to try as well. But it sort of feels like a quick cash grab. For example, you have rituals for several of the Sabbats, but not all of them. And if I don't remember it completely wrong, because some people only celebrate the major Sabbats, so they don't celebrate the solstices and equinoxes. But I think she has some of the solstices and equinoxes and some of the others. It's just like she has just, but I'm not completely sure there. Let's see, 131. Boom, 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 boom. We have Sabbats. Let's see, we have no, wait. We have Samhain ceremony, a solstice ritual. Yeah, she just mixes, so she has just filled in for some but not for others, and then it's sort of a little bit of a waste of space. And it's all over the place. Some of these are clearly Hoodoo inspired, these spells, some of them are more Wiccan. It's just all over the place. And it's I mean, if this had been a self-published grimoire, like I buy a lot of those, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Then somebody else publishes what's in the grimoire. But this is a acknowledged and celebrated pagan author that has been taught personally by C. Budapest. At least according to what we are told about the author. And then I expect more. But don't get me wrong, the book isn't crap. There are some really, really good spells in here that I will be trying myself. There are some good information in here, and the book looks really nice. It has this nice hardcover. The pages are on thick, very, very thick, and see it? Almost cardboard-like pages. And there are various colored sections. There are really nice illustrations. She has some really nice illustrations. And some of the spells are really nice, like this idea of starting the week with a tea ritual. It's just this little tea ritual where you basically set intentions for the week. And so I might start doing that because that's a really cute thing. And when you start Monday morning, brewing some tea, chilling out, and doing it with a magical intention. There's some really good ideas in there. It's just, if you're going to buy this book, you need prior knowledge in magic, because there's so much in here that doesn't have a good enough explanation. It cannot be gotten for a complete beginner. And if you are not a complete beginner, there is so much of this material that you will already know, so that will be pointless for you. So this book is recommended at $17 in the United States and $22 in Canada. And no, with how much information basically is useless, no matter which category you are in, it's not worth that. But if you can find it on a sale or buy it with a coupon or something, so you get it cheaper than that, you might be interested for the very, very nice spells in there. Also, since it's a beautiful book with nice illustrations and all of that, I think this would be a really nice gift. Basically, I can envision putting this in a basket with some candles, perhaps some herbs, and such as a gift for a pagan friend. So it definitely has its uses. It's not a shit book, but it do give me the Phantom Menace feeling of who was this intended for, really? And that's my main complaint about this book. It has some nice spells, but some of them you have to fill in the blank yourself, and you need to know enough to do that. And the information that are for beginners are very, 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 very basic. And while some of the spells are really, really nice, some of them are just feels incomplete. So yeah, it really feels like somebody says, hey, Cerridwen, I want you to just write up this book. We need something to publish. And she just churned out something for money. Some of these are also basically just copy-paste from other of her books. I mean, copy-paste. It's the exact same sequences that are in other books. So this feels very much like just a quick book. That's a cash grab because she's a famous name now within pagan culture, and community. So yeah, I'll give this book 6 out of 10. It has some really nice sections, but at the end of the day, it's a quick cash grab, and there's so many better books on witchcraft out there. So yeah, this is my review of The Practical Witch's Spellbook by Cerridwen Greenleaf. I hope you have enjoyed this review, and have a blessed be. Have a good day, and blessed be. I can't talk today. Bye!